The other Dan, what's up, my friend?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. I made a new opener for the show. What do you think?
I dug it. I like it.
Yeah, you like the music?
Yeah, it's fine. I liked your inside jokes. Everyone knows you're the other Dan, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's your show.
Tonight's topics are bears with a side of bears and bears and a side of bears.
More bears. Am I the only one that's like, not to direct the show or anything, but you know, everyone's like, oh, well, what about the Drake kid, whatever the kid's name is in North Carolina, and what are we doing with the coach and the court? I mean, fuck, we got 7 games left, and far be it from me to be optimistic about Justin potentially coming back Sunday. We've got 4 division games left, Dan, including this one Sunday. What if we start winning? Does anyone consider what happens if we start winning?
If we start winning, then that means that Flus doesn't lose his job, right?
You know, after watching that video of them celebrating after the game, it looks like the team, that one and Washington, at least likes him and respects him. Maybe Getsy's the one who needs to go. I don't know if I have the answers to this. And maybe Flus needs to go too. I don't know. But I know if they start winning, I'm rooting for Flus right now because he's our head coach and I want to win. Right. I was rooting for San Diego to beat Detroit Sunday. That was a really good game. I hadn't watched a lot of non-Bears at all this year, but I was feeling happy about that win Thursday. Everyone says we're supposed to be unhappy and they struggle to beat Carolina and we're supposed to throw shit. But I was happy, man. We won. So heck with it. Well,
we did a pregame and a postgame, and the postgame was very, how should I say it? It felt like it was a loss to half of us.
See? That's what I'm saying.
But it was a win. So I kept saying to everyone who, you know, my crew on Thursdays, Foster, what's up, Foster? Thanks for joining us. Mo, thanks for joining us. Mayhem, thanks for joining us. I was saying to Foster, well, it wasn't really to Foster, it was to PJ and Walt, that like we all want them to win, right? So we just won with our backup quarterback. So do you want it to be a win? A win is a win. You know, did you expect to win? We didn't win by 30, who gives a shit? It's a win. If you look back on it 2 years from now, it's a win. You're not going, well, they won by 3 points.
Right.
You know, so it was a win. So it got us back on track. Here's where it goes forward now. Can Justin, after being gone for 4.5 games with a dislocated thumb, which by the way is the same thumb that I think he broke in high school. If anyone went
deep into stats there, I didn't know that.
It was his senior year in high school. He missed like the final, third of the season because he broke I believe it was his thumb on his throwing hand. If anyone wants to fact check that for me. But I believe I'm correct. So it doesn't matter. The only thing that doesn't matter is the ligaments. So is there damage to the ligaments from the break and the previous surgery? And then now you have it dislocated. Are the ligaments, is that the problem? Because if it's numb sometimes, it might be difficult for him to throw the ball, blah, blah, blah. So,
but he's going to wear a glove apparently to mitigate that a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what he needed. I mean, Jim McMahon threw with gloves. Kurt Warner threw with gloves. I'm not trying to say Jim and Kurt were the same quarterback by any stretch because Jim didn't have the prolific passing stats, at least in the NFL. He did in college. But either way, maybe the glove's a good thing for Fields. Maybe he doesn't try the glove without the injury. Maybe that turns out to be something that is like his signature moving forward. We don't know yet. And I can't root against the Bears. And I've been reading on X because of our guy Jay Bonds. I haven't really been doing a deep dive. There's so many people that are like Bagent people that want Fields to just fail. And then there were Fields people wanting the Bears to lose because of Bagent. I'm not telling anyone how to be a fan. All I'm telling you is I'm happy the Bears won. Whoever the quarterback is, I'm rooting for them.
The quarterback thing's become like I said before, Trump versus Biden.
And it shouldn't, because we're talking about the Bears. It's not political at all. I mean, we all just want to win games as fans. So I don't understand
Could you imagine if there was a second team in the city, what that would cause? This is just 2 quarterbacks. Jeez.
I know. And it's just like, at the end of the day, we all want the same goal. I don't understand. Like, you can like Fields and root for Bajent at the same time, and vice versa, in my opinion.
Yes.
So Justin's got 7 games minimum. Maybe they somehow miraculously make it and go in the playoffs, but minimum or maybe potentially maximum 7 games to prove that, hey, give me a contract extension. Go ahead and draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Get us some offensive line help with the other pick. We already got our defensive end in Sweat. So, hey, keep me here and let's go. But he's got to prove that. And so it's so important for him to get back this week. A win on the road in Detroit could go so far for him to start making his case to say, hey, I'm the guy. I'm so excited for it. They've got Detroit. Minnesota's won 5 in a row. And that's in Minnesota. So 2 big road games coming up and then a bye and then Detroit again. Somehow you win those 3 games, which maybe sounds like I'm, a bullshit optimist right now. But if you could win those 3 games, you'd have 3 straight in the division and you're back in it. Undeniably back in it.
You saying that about this team right now, though, almost it's equivalent to saying what if. It's like but
the defense is improving now.
The
defense is improving. Now, I know that they were letting a bunch of 4th downs conversions happen, and if Carolina wasn't dumb to go for a 59-yard kick, who knows what happens at the end of that. But on paper and on the field, the defense is playing better now.
They are.
So you can almost rely on them a little bit. If your Fields, you get in there, maybe you get some offensive line help. Maybe Nate Davis comes back this week. Maybe you get Whitehair out of there. Mm-hmm. He's the weak link. He and Patrick. Maybe they start blocking, and Halas is probably going to get cut. It looks like when they activate the kid from Herbert. So what I'm saying is he's not going to be throwing the bubble screen to Halas Jones. Maybe he's not going to get sacked every other play. It just feels
bubble screen to Mooney, though. It won't matter.
There's still hope. There's hope until there's no hope.
You're correct. There is hope until there's no hope. I'm not trying to shit on your parade. All I was saying.
It's okay if you disagree. It's fine.
No. What I was saying before you so fucking rudely interrupted me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just kidding. Was that if God, no, I'm totally lost my train of thought. See what you did to me, Dan. So we all agree that. Oh, I was saying that when Justin comes back, I expect him to be rusty against the Lions. The Lions just handed it to the Chargers last night, man. They were just tit for tat. That was one of the most impressive Lions teams I've ever seen in my life playing last night. And that's not a team I want to play.
No, that's a team you do want to play. You know why? Overconfident. Mm-hmm. Overconfident. Detroit thinks. You hear that St. Brown always running his mouth. They think that they're the shit now. They think that they're the Kings, and they're coming off a big win, and they'll see, it's a sorry-ass Bears coming back. So that's a trap game. That's what they call a trap game. That's perfect for the Bears. I'd rather the Bears be going into Detroit with the Lions with a big victory on the road than a loss. Then a loss means, it's a must-win against the Bears. Minnesota's sneaking up on us. Right now, they think their fucking shit doesn't stink. You see?
You could call it a trap game if Justin Fields hadn't lost all this time. He's coming back now from 4.5 game stint. So how can you not expect him? Dan, I love the optimism, but you think he's going to come out and just throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns?
If he does, I'll probably buy a lottery ticket, but he doesn't necessarily have to. How about Foreman, keep running that rock, baby. Boom, hand off to 21. You're going to have Herbert back. Hand off to him and just run the ball down their throats, man, and take some time off the clock. Old school Bears smash mouth football. That's what I want to see. That's what I've been wanting to see. I hate the shotgun on 4th and 1 at the fucking goal line and you're in a shotgun, especially if Blazing, however you pronounce the fullback's last name, if he's still out, I don't know. I just want them to come out and do play action and bootlegs. The same game they were calling for with Bajent, do that with Justin and primarily run the ball. And I think we got a shot, man. Get some turnovers, control the clock. You can't tell me Jared Goff's not able. We can't force him to throw some interceptions. I believe we can. He's doing well with Detroit. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he's apt to throw interceptions. If we can do that, get some pressure on him, run the ball, dude, I'm excited for it. I think, and for Justin, man, he doesn't have to throw for 300 yards, but if we can get some wins stacked up, you can make a case for him.
We haven't won 2 games in a row under Eberflus, dude.
I know until Sunday.
If there was ever going to be a loss of confidence in that for me, it would be that Justin Fields loses 4.5 games worth of play and then tries to come back playing against the Lions. So
this is the script that we needed for Justin. He needs to come back almost as like a savior, not in a religious sense, but I meant like maybe that's the script we need for all the people that wanted to see Bagent and loved Bagent and everything he represented. And I'm not taking anything away from the kid. I'm just saying he's shown a lot of limitations. And I'm not saying that he sucks or any of that stuff, but it's unquestionable that Justin Fields is better, at least athletically, with talent. He's more talented. Yeah. So your backup quarterback went 500. That's what backup quarterbacks are supposed to do. That's why they're backups. But if they're good backups, they keep you in it. So there you go. You're back in it. Now let's bring the guy who's desperate to get some recognition and desperate to get a new contract. Well, this is how you start getting it right now. If you want to be in Chicago, we need some wins. Let's go Sunday.
Tyson Bagent was like Chuck Woolery, right? We'll be back in 2-2.
He wasn't bad. I mean, he had obviously he's throwing too many interceptions, but considering the guy, is in his first 4 starts of his career, I mean, he's fine. He's okay. He's a good backup. I'm not saying he couldn't ever exceed that. I'm not trying to bash Bagent, but I'm just saying he's got a 3-year deal. Presumably, he's the Bears' backup going into next season. That's good. Then you got a backup you can believe in. But I want to believe in Justin Fields because if Justin isn't able to achieve what we want him to achieve here, either statistically or with wins, then they're going to draft another quarterback.
You sound like a politician right there. Tyson Bagent, a backup we can believe in.
Well, maybe he ends up being a starter. I don't want to say that his ceiling, I don't want to take the ceiling away from him. But he's shown that, I mean, of the backups we've had in recent years, I mean, who's been better? Josh McCown, maybe? That's it.
For about 3 games? Yeah,
maybe Josh McCown. I mean, I think I'd rather have Bagent than Chase Daniel.
Me too. I'd much rather have Bagent.
Well, Don, name's not McGuire, for one, sir. And I've given you all credit all season, and I like your coach. I do. But I'm not delusional. Like everything I just said is if Justin comes back and wants to stay, we have to start winning. What's delusional about that?
I had my car serviced at a Midas this past week, and I picked it up, and the guy saw me wearing my Bears hat, and he was like, what do you think of Tyson Bagent? And I was like, well, I love the kid, man. Like, I just wish he had a stronger arm. And we got to talking about him. He's like, this guy went to Shepherd. He played running back for them. He showed me pictures of him playing running back for Shepherd. I was like, holy shit. So he loves Bagent. And he's like, yeah, he's going to make a great backup quarterback. I was like, damn, I guess you just said it all right there.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, this kind of gets into the subject of the show tonight. The thumbnail, the topic of the show is if Justin Fields can come out this game and totally dominate, right? Which I'm not sure I'm expecting that because
we don't need him to. We don't need him to dominate.
Okay, but what we need for him is to show out the rest of the season, right?
Need some wins.
Okay, so
you need him to stay healthy, and you need him to win the game. Again, that doesn't mean he throws for 350 or 400. He doesn't even have to throw 4 touchdowns a game and 1 pick or 8 in 2 games. Just needs to win. I mean, throw 250, throw 230 and win. That's fine. If you find ways to win and Justin's throwing the ball well, not turning it over, and occasionally mixing in the run. Mm-hmm. But most importantly, if you stockpile some wins, I think that because right now Justin's detractors are always going to say, and rightfully so, that he's 6-25 as a starter. And you can't run from your record, man. I mean, I know it's not all his fault. It's not. But that's true. But okay, so let's put some wins together, and start making that, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 20, make it 13. Let's win 7 in a row. I know that sounds delusional, but fuck it. Okay, Dan, you remember the game you always talk about when you were taunting Eli Manning
Yeah.
Think about that. The Giants beat us in that game, and at the time they were like 4 and whatever the fuck, you know.
Yeah.
They won like their last 5 or 6 games in the regular season, and then won 4 playoff games and won the Super Bowl. Yes. And nobody, when they beat the Bears at Soldier Field in 2007, was like, "Oh, that team's about to beat the undefeated New England Patriots in the Super Bowl," and that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen with the Bears, but until you're eliminated, you're not eliminated.
My well of optimism is like running so dry, though, Dan.
Why? We won the game. We got our quarterback coming back,
and he's coming back from an injury on his throwing hand against a team that just whooped the fucking ass, just like tit for tat with one of the best offenses. Like we've watched Justin Herbert in the playoffs just go tit for tat with Mahomes and Allen and shit. And he did that last night with the Lions, and the Lions kept up with him and beat him. And that was a really impressive win in my mind. So.
Let's strip David Montgomery a few times, take the ball away from that fucking traitor, hit Goff in the mouth, intercept him. You get some turnovers, man. Things happen. The upsets happen every week. Why not this week?
Okay, so I guess the point of this show is mute because you think that we have a chance of winning out.
I mean, is it unlikely? Of course it's unlikely. But you have a shot because the games are scheduled, and the team is and defensively they were terrible earlier this season. On paper, they're looking a lot better now. You just made a big acquisition, had 8 pressures the other night. Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems like the defense is improving, the offensive line is getting better, and now you're bringing back your quarterback and your running back.
Okay. So I remain optimistic as well. I know there's still a chance here. I'm just trying to say, like, for this show, assuming that this season continues in a downward spiral and we lose,
I didn't mean to interrupt the theme of the show. I can play I can play the game if that's what you want me to do. I just think
I'm happy to. We can play both sides of it. I like this. I like the beginning of this being the positive side that Justin comes back. Everything goes well. It goes in our favor. We win the next, several games. We go on a winning streak. We win at least 2 in a row for the first time in Eberflus's career. That'd be nice to see, at the very least. But let's just say we string together 3, 4, 5 wins.
You're making my card now.
Okay, so that means that we're not firing Eberflus, right? Or Getsy. For that matter,
I don't know. You never know about that, though. I mean, they could evaluate and say, "Hey, maybe Bill Belichick reportedly is going to be available." It's supposed to be parting of the ways in New England. Not saying we want to get Bill, but obviously Harbaugh, we've talked about extensively. Maybe they look at it and say, "Hey, these other coaches are available, and that's such a significant upgrade. We thank you for your service, Flus." So you just never know. Or maybe they keep Flus and replace Getsy. That could happen too.
See, but you're kind of playing into what I'm saying here is like, if you want to, is Eberflus really that worth hanging on to?
I didn't say it was. I'm just saying.
Well, if you're going to replace the offensive coordinator and have Justin learn a new offense all over again, you might as well just replace the whole staff, right?
Perhaps, yes.
Okay, so in my mind, there's only 2 ways that this can go. And Don Burrow will love this because one is Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is the only coach of this team that is the most obvious to me that can take this team with Justin Fields to the next level. And if he works hand in hand with Poles, if you give him, like, let's say an assistant GM position, he could become the guy that replaces Ditka as the coach that everyone's taught. We all love Ditka and revere the 85 Bears, but if he wins 1 or 2 or 3 Super Bowls with us, and he's already won everywhere else. He's won at his alma mater. He comes to the Bears, his dream job. He wins a Super Bowl or 2. He rides out into the sunset, 10, 15 years later as head coach, maybe moves up into the front office. Meanwhile, maybe we win a Super Bowl in our new stadium at home while he's coaching. Kind of a thing. Like that to me is where that's the coach the only coach in my mind that could move on from here with Justin Fields. So in my mind, if you're going to go hiring a new coach, let's say they take Ben Johnson from the Lions. You'll love that also too, Don Burr. Let's say they take Ben Johnson, they make him the head coach.
I hate that move. Let me just say why. Because
whatever, pick a name. Pick a name.
I just want a coach that's had some experience and not just some guy learning on the job again.
Okay, so Harbaugh would be your
Harbaugh's great. Harbaugh's taken the team to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so let's say it was a McVay protege from the Rams or something like that.
What about fucking Belichick? He legitimately is going to be available, apparently.
Okay, let's just say it's Belichick. Whatever coach, if that coach wants a new start and they're sitting there with the first pick in the draft via the Panthers and the 7th pick or the 5th pick in the draft via our pick, don't you think, and wouldn't you want it to be that way, that coach, if he decides he wants the first pick in the draft to be a quarterback and to trade Justin Fields, I mean, wouldn't that legitimately be the way to go? Because there's been so many other failures. You know, we've seen Nagy trying to do it with Trubisky. We've seen blah, blah, blah. We've seen this general manager trying to do it with that head coach for a year, and it always fails. So why not just do it correctly? If you're going to get a new head coach that's not Harbaugh or somebody that's legitimately invested in Justin, like I think Harbaugh would be, I think he would salivate at the opportunity to work. I mean, look at what he's done with Kaepernick compared to what he could do with Justin Fields' skill set compared to Kaepernick's. And Kaepernick had a long release too, but he still threw for a lot of yards. Justin's is a lot less long than Kaepernick's. He's got a much quicker release than Kaepernick had, so he gets rid of the ball quicker than Kaepernick did. There's so many things that I think Harbaugh could do with Justin that it's so fucking obvious. It makes me salivate at the thought of it. Why not just pull the trigger? I don't give a shit if he's been in trouble, if he's blah, blah, blah. You've never been the team that's gone balls out and just said, fuck it, I don't care. And just tried to win a championship. Sometimes you got to steal signs. Sometimes you got to.
Now you sound like a Belichick protege.
Ask Belichick. Sometimes you got to put a fucking drone in the air to steal the play calls from the. I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. And if nothing has worked for this team, we've tried to be the good guys forever. Let's just go get the guy that's going to do everything it takes to win, and he's going to do it from the heart because he was drafted by the Bears. He's a former Bear. He's a Ditka lover. He's a Ditka protege. His dream job is the Bears head coaching job. He's just the right age to ride it out into his retirement, and like I said, move up in the front office, and then help us from there down until he is ready to, drift off into the sunset. That's the guy for me. If it's not, I don't see another guy coming in and saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it work with Justin Fields and pass up this once in a lifetime opportunity to have the first pick in the fucking draft with 2 quarterbacks that I can choose from." That could be in his mind legitimately better than the one that he's been dealt to work with. I don't want to see the George McCaskey way happen anymore. I'm on a rant. Sorry, I'll finish in a second. Let George McCaskey count the X's and O's and let Kevin Warren run the fucking show and just approve numbers. Sorry, can't afford that. Or that's a little too much for my budget. Or sure, you're good to go. And then just look back and see what happens in 10 years. That's what I want to see. So I'm done. My rant is over.
Well, I can't disagree with your rant about wanting Jim Harbaugh. And I liked Harbaugh as a player at the time, and I was foolish to do this but I was a kid. I viewed Tomczak as the asshole, like with McMahon gone. I thought, God, anybody but Tomczak, but it's like I should have liked Tomczak. If I had been an adult, I would have. And in fact, Tomczak and McMahon were boys. They both hated Harbaugh. Both of them thought Harbaugh was a pompous piece of shit. They both thought he was arrogant and just abrasive, and they didn't like him. But either way, I loved Harbaugh because he wasn't Tomczak. Mm-hmm. So I've liked Harbaugh my entire life is what I'm saying. And again, I should have liked Tomczak too, but I was a kid. My point being, though, all that is going to come whether we want it to or not in 2 months. Mm-hmm. Right now we've got 7 more games scheduled. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. Yes, I agree. Grumpy Bear, $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. The Packers and Bears used to spy on each other back in the day in Halas Hall days. So he's saying no big deal. I mean, screw it. I don't care, man. Nothing has worked, guys. Let's get Harbaugh in here and let's get a little bit of outside the box thinking.
So brazenly, let me ask you then, you're not rooting for the Bears to lose just to get a new coach, which could be Harbaugh, right? Like Sunday, You're rooting for the Bears.
I'm always rooting for the Bears to win.
I thought so. Just making sure, just clarifying.
But my rooting for the Bears to win, I've changed jerseys, and it doesn't seem to matter. The last one that mattered was I wore a Rashawn Salam jersey, dude.
I was wearing Rex Grossman's orange jersey Thursday night just for the hell of it. I hadn't worn it since 2008. And look at us winning with Rashawn Salam and Rex Grossman.
Okay, so we have to wear those again, right?
Last night, even though the Bears weren't playing, I had a friend over, we were watching the games. I broke out the Cordell Stewart Bears jersey for the first time in 20 years.
Wow.
So maybe that's what we need, some
Cordell Stewart.
some old school flavor.
I'll be wearing
number 1 on Sunday. I'm happy for Justin if he's coming back. I'm wearing the white Fields jersey Sunday.
You need to wear the same jersey you just wore. What are you doing?
The Grossman one?
Yes,
You're wearing the orange Rex again, or coordinate with the Bears and wearing the white one?
Wear the same jersey. I'm going to wear the same Rashawn Salam jersey.
Okay,
Let's see if it work.
Fine.
Let's see if the combo works.
Let's go. I'll wear the orange Rex then. Heck with it.
All right. The heck with it. I want to get to Mayhem saying the Bears don't need another damn QB. I'm not saying that they do, Mayhem. I'm saying if everyone as fans here, be prepared for the possibility, the most likely case, if you all want a new head coach, honestly, unless it's Harbaugh, in my opinion, the
new coach is going to want his own pick.
I think that Harbaugh would love to work with Justin Fields, but unless it's somebody else, which it most likely will be, because I don't think the McCaskies are truly going to give Kevin Warren the go all say all to do everything and just sit back and count numbers. I don't think they can possibly do that. It's not in their genes. They've been doing it for too long. So in that case, we lose. So I think they're going to go new coach, blah, blah, blah. They're going to make it an offensive coordinator. Let's just say Ben, pick your name, pick your guy. It doesn't matter. That guy is going to say, most likely, I'm taking the quarterback with that first pick, and let's trade Justin. So I'm just saying, be prepared for that, guys. I don't want it. I would love to see us build on what this kid has done with a coach such as Harbaugh, who could come in and do twice as much as he did with Kaepernick, which with much less talent. So,
well, here's what I'm hoping for.
But we all have to be prepared for that day in case it happens, is what I'm saying.
If I'm writing a script, Justin's coming back. He's our hero here, and we're going to ride with him into the future. But not just because we like him, but I want him to pull up the statistics and the wherewithal in the games to where you're like, man, we can't get rid of this guy. He's earned his keep. That's what I want. Mm-hmm. Worst case scenario, if like what you're saying comes into fruition and a new guy comes in and says, yeah, we respect Justin, but I want my own guy. If that happens, we want Justin to play so well that we get a better pick for him. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to ball out to the point where the Bears have to contemplate, do we really want to move on from this guy? Or if they do, they get a second or first and not just like a 5th round pick just to throw away, just to get rid of him. So for Justin's own sake, his bottom dollar, man, I want him to play well and get paid somewhere. I hope it's here. But I hope he plays well enough to where he's appreciated and he deserves like a big deal somewhere. That's what I'm hoping, and I hope it's with us.
That would be like a third instance where he plays well enough but we still keep losing. If he plays well enough and the defense keeps playing the way that they are, I think that we start winning games in that case, right? So
we have 4 division games left. That's what I was saying at the top of the show. You got Minnesota, you got Detroit 2 times, and Green Bay still. Man, if you win some of those division games, you're back in it. I know Detroit's got 7 wins now. I think Minnesota is like right at 6 or 7. But if you win those division games, you're in it nevertheless, at the very least for a wild card potential.
Mm-hmm. So listen, I'm totally optimistic about winning this week. I think we definitely can win this week. It would just be so Bears to beat Detroit when they're at this high, right? It would be just so Bears Detroit. I'm just trying to prepare everybody for the possible what ifs, because everyone has been saying they all want this coaching staff fired. So just be careful what you wish for, kind of a thing. If we win a bunch of games here and the defense gets better and Flus is actually like a good defensive coordinator. I mean, that's another question. Does he get a defensive coordinator next year or just run the show himself?
He's got to.
Yeah. One would think, right?
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, I guess if you go back and watch those videos, the team still looks like they're together. I mean, maybe it's all propaganda just dramatized by the Bears video department, but it looks like everybody seems to like Flus and respect him still.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're losing and you still have the team a little bit, I mean, maybe there's something to the guy. Maybe he's not as lousy as we think he is, saying stupid shit like he's got something up his sleeve and then doesn't show what's up his sleeve. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, as long as he's the Bears coach, I got to root for him.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the season, okay, we'll fire him. But had he lost to the Panthers, I'd have probably been saying, let's fire his ass today. But yeah.
Promote Hightower.
Whomever, man. If, like I said, if you're working at a dollar store somewhere and you're losing to the Panthers, in theory, even that's an analogy for another job. But if you're doing that poorly at a lower level job, they fire you. They don't give a shit, So.
Mm-hmm. Bearsky saying even Cutler came out and had a 4 interception game. Haven't seen that kind of implosion from Justin. There are a lot of factors to consider. This team needs to be better. The defense helps a lot too. So yeah, and you're right. So the defense has been getting better, to your point.
I wonder if Edmonds comes back this week. Has anybody heard anything about Edmonds?
No, I have not.
I know we're out of IR spots now. We can't put anybody else in IR or they're gone for the season. So if he really is still hurt, that's why he hasn't been deactivated. Wait, who? Edmonds. If for some reason the Bears have no more IR spots left, if you go in IR, you're out for the season.
Oh, yeah.
You can only activate 8 people from IR, and they've already done that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Justin didn't go in IR.
Right, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Edmonds could be hurt still, and we wouldn't know because maybe he's not ready to come back, I'm saying, but because they can't put him on IR.
Right.
But Sanborn's been playing well, so you'd still like to have Edmonds back, though. But, yeah, man, Look, I'm not saying that Justin's going to come out and throw for 6 touchdowns or something like Mitch against Tampa that week, but I'm just saying, man, I've got some hope. I'm rooting for him for his future in addition to the Chicago Bears. So I'm happy for Justin if he gets back in there to show everybody what he can do. He played well against Denver, played well against Washington, and he was playing terribly against Minnesota when he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm rooting for him, man. So, I mean, as long as they're like Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber, so you're telling me there's a chance.
I'm right there with you, man. I don't want him to lose. It sucks sitting there watching losses and then sitting here talking about losses. We want to watch wins and talk about wins. I mean, it's good for everyone. It's good for the city. It's good for everyone. So I guess I'm just trying to look ahead for my own sanity so I can prepare for the what ifs. Because
no, I don't disagree with the topic, but I'm just pointing out the caveat that it is week 10.
Yeah.
So there's still, 8 more weeks. The Bears still haven't had their bye yet. So 7 more games for the Bears, but there's still a little under half a season remaining.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying is that there's still a lot of football left. I brought up that Giants team and Jacksonville in 96. they were 3-7 or whatever, and then came back to finish 9-7 and got all the way to the AFC title game.
Mm-hmm.
So teams get hot and things like that happen.
So Justin could very well just come out after being out for 4.5 games. Thumb's feeling great. He's been watching Bajent. He's all fired up right now. He's practicing. He's getting ready to go. Comes out and just freaking dominates this game.
I didn't say it.
No, I'm saying it can't happen.
It could happen, but maybe the most likely thing is that Justin doesn't throw very much and has 150 yards, but Foreman and Herbert run the ball down their throats to get short fields of turnovers, and they win, maybe not ugly, but they win with the old school Bears kind of game, just pounding the rock, some special teams, and some turnovers, some lovey ball.
3 to 5 points, something like that.
It happens, man. And you can't, Detroit, until they have my respect. And again, I understand what it's like to be a team that never wins. So, but having said that, considering they haven't won anything, they're really, really pretty fucking arrogant right now. So if you say earlier, like, I'd be so Bears, it would be so Detroit to like fuck around and lose the division now. It would be so Detroit for that to happen. To have Minnesota come back with Dobbs or whatever and take the division from them. So, I mean, and just say shit happens. The Bears got Detroit, coming up 2 times really quickly. So I hope we win both of those games.
You're damn right about that. That's true. Like that would be kind of them to lose it, right? They came out slow last year, almost made the playoffs. Came out hot this year, missed the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, the Bears were 7-1 in 2012 and didn't make it.
Yeah.
Collapses happen.
Oh, God, yeah. And comebacks happen. We've seen it happen, man.
Actually, I don't have a problem with the Lions. I mean, I have to root against them because they're in my division. But like, let's say the Bears are out of it and the playoffs have begun and you tell me Detroit goes to the Super Bowl. I don't have a problem with Detroit. I hate Green Bay. I don't want them to ever win anything. I don't hate Detroit.
If we were out of the playoffs, I'd be rooting for Detroit, in fact, because that'd be like something to root for. The underdog, Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I don't hate the Lions at all. There are times that I hate the Vikings. I really hate Kirk Cousins. So there have been times that I've hated the Vikings. Overall, I don't guess I hate them. I don't really root for them. I don't know, man. I'm just saying the bottom line is the Bears are still in it right now. It's 3-7. It's not the record you want to be at, but they could have had wins against Denver. Certainly could have beaten New Orleans. Had a shot against Tampa. And no shot against Kansas City. You had a small window against Green Bay that they blew it, but I'm just saying there's some other games that they've lost that they could have won. Maybe some of that goes our way second half of the year. The games that, we were losing before that we start to win now because the overall team is getting better with the defense and such. And that means a lot.
I love your optimism.
I mean, that's what we're here for, man.
I'm relying on your optimism right now. I mean, for the last week, going into the Panthers game, I was just like, yeah, God, what does it matter?
Nothing matters. I mean, everything matters.
Yeah, but it's like there's so little hope. We haven't even won 2 games in this coaching era in a row. That's just given me such little hope that we can string together anything. So it's just, I was happy with the win. It signifies you can win. It signifies a win we should have won, and we did.
And it helps us in the draft.
So, but then now I'm like kind of like sick to my stomach now because as much as I want to see Fields come back, I just don't feel like he's going to be, on all cylinders, and we're just going to lose this game, and then it's just going to go back to another loss, another losing cycle.
See, I'm writing a new script for you, though.
Okay.
I'm not saying Justin has to be the reason we win Sunday. And in fact, I keep saying I think it's the running backs and the defense. But for all I know, it could be Santos with the game winner. But let's say they beat Detroit. Oh, we got an upset. Next game's on national TV, Monday Night Football. You're going for 3 in a row. And then your guy solidifies maybe that night with another 8 days, has a big game, balls out, and then suddenly you've won 3 in a row. 2 division games, and you're fucking in it. With the bye coming up.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I mean, what's the line going to be? The line's probably going to be what, 6.5?
Somebody posted it, wasn't it? What is it, 8?
Is it 8? Oh, if I were gambling, I would take that then for sure.
It can't be out yet, right? Don't they wait till like Wednesday or something?
I don't gamble, so I don't know.
Me either. I wouldn't know. Man, I mean, it's okay. So you're giving me optimism here, Dan. The other Dan, I could say.
Well, that's fine. That's good. I mean, it's what we need is optimism.
I mean, it's been a lot of losing, man. It's been you gain optimism and then it just goes away. And then you gain optimism and it goes away because you lose. Then you gain optimism and then you actually win a game and you're like, oh shit, I was right. Yeah, this team's good. And then they go right back to the Green Bay game plan. And you're like, oh, this team sucks. And it's just the fucking roller coaster of this team is just painful, dude. I'm usually talking you off a cliff. What? Come on, help me out here, dude.
I'm trying. Like, I'm feeling good about. I mean, not feeling good like, oh, I know I have some certitude. I'm not the Lions. I don't think like we've won a Super Bowl yet. The way they feel like they suddenly they've achieved greatness so far, and I mean they haven't earned that yet. They haven't clinched a playoff spot yet. So, I mean, it's obviously trending that way, and it's trending the other way for the Bears. But there's still a chance, man. I mean, I've pointed out situations where it's happened before, and the defense is improving, the line's improving, and the defensive line clearly is improving with Sweat, and you're going to get Justin back, and you're going to get Herbert back.
Mm-hmm. All right.
No, St. Brown's not as good as the St. Brown in Detroit, but it's good to have him back too. Because now we can put Halas on release him, and I assume nobody will pick him up, and they can put him on the practice squad.
Oh God, Halas Jones has got to go.
He's awful.
Oh boy, that dropped pass in the end zone in the Chargers game was just pathetic.
Yeah, and then we got a break against New Orleans because I think he fumbled there. On that screen pass where they called it incomplete, I'm pretty sure he caught that and fumbled anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Every time he touched the ball during his entire run with the Bears, except that one catch, I think, against Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe it was against Philly or Buffalo. It was one of those games late last season at Soldier Field. He caught a bomb from Justin. Other than that, every other time he's touched the ball, whether it be on kickoffs, punt returns, or offense, he's almost fumbled. He's always bobbling the ball.
Oh, boy.
And against the Chargers, he fell down, and the ball still hit him in the stomach, and he still dropped it.
I know.
He really is pathetic. He's one of the worst picks ever. We can say, oh, Kevin White, because, he was in the first round, but Kevin White at least was hurt. Legitimately hurt. Halas has been healthy and just has been awful.
I'll take Halas Jones over Kevin White any day, dude.
So I don't know if I'd say that because Kevin, at least, do you have excuses like he's always hurt, which is not a good one, but had he not been hurt, it's almost like Curtis Enis. If he's not hurt, he could have been a stud, he blew his knee out as a rookie, though. So I'm just saying you never know. But Halas has just been underperforming.
Very much so. I've just been dying to see Halas on a quick slant that he takes to the house.
He would drop it.
Apparently he would. Because they have not done shit with him in that position. They've barely tried him at the receiver position catching passes. Barely.
The only reason he's still on the team now is because he was drafted in the 3rd round. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, he's awful, man. But thankfully, with the roster spot having to be opened up, because they're going to activate Herbert this week, hopefully he's the one that's cut.
Oh, God, please. Please. Please, it's time to go, Halas Jones. It's time to go.
He was inactive Thursday, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they had Tyler Scott back there. you know, I feel like there's reason for optimism here. It's not just me saying this shit like to play a role on the show or something. Like I'm looking forward to Sunday.
I can honestly, I am feeling your optimism to the bone, my friend.
Good, because it's not a put on, and I feel like the Bears have a legitimate chance of beating Detroit Sunday.
I feel like, God, I'm the asshole right now. I'm so defeated by this team. I just don't feel a win at all coming this weekend.
Well, just stay on the edge of the bandwagon. Just stay on the edge. Don't jump off. So that if they do win, and then a couple of things, good things happen, you won't be like one of these guys. It's like, I'm just coming back because they're winning again.
No, I mean, I want them to win. I want Justin to come out and play well, and I want them to, at the very least, get a good game plan ready for him if he's, to protect his thumb and all this and this and that. But I just feel like after watching the Lions last night, just tit for tat with the fucking Chargers, that there's no way we can do that with them.
I mean, who are the Chargers, though? I mean, I know they beat us on Sunday night, but the Chargers year in, year out are underachievers that finish, and lose in the first round of the playoffs, which I'd love to be in the first round of the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, but it's not like they beat a team that it's not like although they did beat the Chiefs in week 1. So I can't say it's not, they did beat KC in KC, which is admirable. It deserves a lot of props. Well, I'm just saying the Chargers can lose to anybody, though.
One thing that the Chargers are not is a division rival. They're not a division team. The division games are always different. So we can't just expect Detroit to come out and put up 8 points on us this Sunday. I mean, maybe, but typically division games go much different.
I mean, the only way I can write a script for that, if they score 38 on us and, it would have to be like the New Orleans game where we're turning the ball over incessantly. Like, would they have 5 turnovers against the Saints? A bunch of penalties? It'd have to be some shit like that against Detroit, I think. I'm not saying the Bears' defense is somehow, insurmountable now or like unassailable. Like, there's no way you can score on them. But, and just they're playing okay. They're playing okay now. So I think it's going to be a tough game for both sides. I don't think the Bears are going to get blown out.
I hope not. Because I don't want to come out and talk about a blowout. I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer here either, everyone, including, Dan, the other Dan.
Just talking about yourself there in third person, the other Dan.
It's okay. Yeah, we're going to win this game. Yeah.
But I don't think it's as like far-fetched as everyone thinks, in my opinion. Honestly, I don't.
This is the home game or the away game?
It's in Ford Field.
Okay, so this is the away game. This is the one that we all had a loss on our schedule. I know that much. So that would be pretty much everything has gone the opposite anyway. So that would also work if it was a win. Because we predicted 11-6 here. And yeah. That's not going to happen anymore. But 10-7 is still possible, right?
It definitely is.
Okay, let's go with that. 10-7.
I'm not saying that yet. All I'm saying is that there's a chance you pick up some steam. You got one win. If you upset Detroit, then you got Minnesota, then you got a bye, and then now things are going the right way.
Then we got Detroit at home again.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. Do I not look convincing?
No, I feel like you feel like if the Bears win, it's going to be like on par with like Namath beating the Colts or something. And I just feel like it's not that drastic. I think the Bears can win outright.
Okay, that's where I've been saying the same. I mean, geez, last year I was like, we're still in it. We've lost 6 games. We can still go 11-6 because I had the same prediction last year. But it just seems like we can't even win 2 games
until Sunday.
I feel like I'm talking like Chris Watts. We can't even win 2 games.
Might.
Like I'm saying like it's a fucking question.
Where's Chris at now? I'm sure he's in bed, but If he were here, he could back me up. There's hope.
There is hope. All right, so I'm going to stop being a Debbie fucking Downer. We're going to beat the Lions. We're going to beat the Lions, Dan.
I'm not guaranteeing victory or something. I just think the Bears are going to put on a good product.
Okay, so what do you guys in chat think? We should get to you guys, man. We got a lot of you guys in here blowing up chat. Zach, Mo Behrman, Don Burrs being kind of polite tonight. Good to see you, Don. Les.
He's predicting a 49-7 win or something. Because they're so conceited up there suddenly. It's like they think they're the Packers now.
Yeah. Unapologetic Truth. Thanks for joining us. Cliff Victoria. Retro. Good to see you again. Been a lot of people in here in chat tonight. Great to see all you guys.
What's Cliff think?
Let's
Cliff is usually someone, like even keeled. He's not going to be too high or too low. When they lose, sometimes he's so positive it makes me mad at him. I'm joking, but yeah, Cliff's not someone that's going to be like, oh, the Bears are winning by 100 or some shit. But maybe see what's his pulse. What's his pulse on this?
Well, while we're waiting for Cliff, we got Iceberg Slim saying Bears 35-7. Okay.
Oh my God.
My goodness.
Yeah, that would be like an orgasm.
Yeah, no shit. Steve Phillips saying any given Sunday.
There you go.
Let's see.
Not the best movie, but yeah.
Was that the one with
had a great cast, Al Pacino, Jamie Foxx, but
that.
It just didn't have where it had fake team names is what it just hard it was hard for me to get into.
That speech at the end though was amazing.
Right.
Gonna hit him in the fucking mouth, whatever he says.
I love Al Pacino anyway.
Me too. Eduardo saying, hello, Dan. Which Dan?
I think he's talking to you.
Dan or the other Dan? What's up, Eduardo? Eduardo Isaac Rodriguez M.
What did Cliff say there? Did he give us he thought the Bears are going to win or lose?
Cliff, what's your score prediction? He said Flus mentioned he was looking at Bears scheme during the mini buy. To me, that means he's second guessing Getsy.
Well, he should.
Yeah.
What I'll give the Bears credit for calling that pass that Bajent completed at the end. Like if they have to punt there, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. No shit. Don Burr saying 33-19, Detroit. We're gonna bust y'all ass because he's talking too much. But I'm
supposed to be talking right now, right? That's what I'm on here to do is to talk. I mean, that's what I'm here for.
Don, don't you get this as a podcast? That's what we do. Oh, geez. Foster's saying Bears 16-13.
There you go. I like it. I think it'd be a little bit higher than that, but I like Foster, and I like Foster's prediction.
I like Foster too. Unapologetic Truth, 35-24, Bears. What else we got here? Mo Beerman saying 42-28 Lions, Monty with 2 touchdowns.
I hope not. I'll hate that.
King Book is saying Al Pacino starts off saying, I don't know what to say, and proceeds to give up a top 3 speech of all time. Yeah, I know. That was great. What did he say? How did he say it? He's like, then we're gonna punch him in the fucking mouth. What did he say?
I haven't watched it since like 2000. I don't know. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I believe I did too. What do we got here? Monty, Laz saying Monty will get his teammates on board to run it up 48-10.
I hope Monty fumbles 2 or 3 times is what I hope. Or just gets completely shut down.
I'm hoping that the Bears just play Monty like we played him, so we barely see him. Let's see. What else we have here? Zach Sullivan saying Lions 27, Bears ? There's your Cliff score. 31 Lions 31, Bears 24. Oh.
Did I tell you how much I hated Cliff, Victoria? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God. Every time we were at Aldo's party, it kept pulling me aside. You're like, that fucking guy.
That son of a bitch. He and Jeb Bush both can go straight to hell. And I like that guy too.
Let's see what else.
I don't remember his name. I just remember he looked like Jeb Bush.
Oh, Curtis.
Curtis Conway?
No, Cliff's buddy Curtis. You're saying he looked like Jeb Bush.
He did.
I don't think he does.
I thought he did.
Isn't it crazy? You can be like, she looks just like Beyonce, and somebody else can be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know?
I've never said anyone looked like Beyonce.
I'm not saying you. I'm just trying to pick up a different, like a famous person. I'm just another analogy.
I did say that you look like Mark Trestman, though.
That's it. That's it, Dan. Come on. Fucking Mark Trestman. I have twice the hair of Mark Trestman.
Yeah, but when you have the cap on,
yeah,
and the glasses,
true. What if I did a podcast like this? Would anyone even recognize me? Hold on. What if I did a show like this?
Hey, who the fuck is that?
Like Chris Watts is saying, if you pick me up at the airport like that, I wouldn't even know that was you.
Exactly.
I'd be looking for you the whole time. Oh man. So I think what is the overall consensus here that we think the Bears are going to lose? I mean, you think the Bears are going to win, Dan, right?
I'm hoping.
What's your score prediction?
Ooh, how about Chicago 27, Detroit 23?
Okay, so there's your answer for Zach Sullivan. He said 27 to he picked the Lions. Oh, Unapologetic Truth said 35-24 Bears. Sorry, I missed that. I think I missed that anyway.
Maybe 27-24.
27-24 Bears?
Yeah, maybe Santos with a kind of like Paul Ettinger in 2000, go up there, kick a game winner when everyone thought we were going to lose, and knocked them out of the playoffs, and got Bobby Ross fired, I believe.
Yeah.
That turned us on to Marty Morningwig as the Lions coach.
Marty Morningwig. Man, you and your memory. Jay Sanders, 31-28 Bears.
I like it.
All right. I feel like whenever I go reverse psychology, it always works for me, Dan.
Well, that's what we did last week. Wasn't it last week we said Carolina was going to win, but it was like wink, wink?
Yeah, right? That worked, right?
It worked with the Raiders with me, too.
I think it worked. It also worked with me with the Patriots last year. We did that game together.
So you're picking Detroit to win then?
I'm gonna go Detroit. I'm gonna take the opposite. Grumpy Bear. Detroit 34, Bears 17.
Wow. So you're legitimately picking a Bears blowout loss then? Yeah, that's not reverse psychology. You think they're going to get blown out?
I think they're going to get their asses handed to them. If this is, we're just, Justin Fields is coming back. He's going to be rusty, man. I can't expect anything from him. It's not going to be. In my mind, it's not going to be great. I've sat here too many times and gone, oh, well, he's going to come back and light it up because.
I'll even go back farther for you, but just follow me on this. Charles Martin hurts Jim McMahon in November of '86.
Yes.
In late October '87, almost a full year later, McMahon comes off the bench in the third quarter. Tampa Bay's up by like 17 points on us. And Jim McMahon leads the comeback and throws the game-winning touchdown to Neil Anderson. Hadn't played a single fucking game since Charles Martin hurt him almost a year before. He comes off the bench in the second half and beats Tampa Bay on the road in his first game back. You say, oh, that's a fluke, right? Well, then in his second game back, they're down 14 or 13 in the fourth quarter to Kansas City. And I think it's 13. And McMahon throws 2 touchdowns to Willie Gault. We beat Kansas City. Then the third game, they're in Green Bay and they're down. And Jim leads the drive, and Kevin Butler kicks the game-winning field goal and flips off the Packers on the sideline when he hits it. 3 straight games, 3 straight comeback wins. His first 3 games back after Charles Martin. True story.
Fair enough.
It's happened before.
It also happened in that wasn't part of your little rant there wasn't part of the Vikings game wasn't part of that, right? Because man, with that Martin sack was after that in '85.
I'm talking 87 after the Charles Martin injury.
Okay, so but it's also happened where McMahon was out for how many games? Came back against the Vikings.
Well, he was hurt he played the first two. That was week 3 of '85. He started and finished week 1 and 2, but he was in. He had back spasms up at the top of his neck and was in the hospital after that Patriots game. So Ditka, he didn't practice, and it was a Thursday night game, so Ditka wasn't going to let him play because he didn't practice. But McMahon said he was on the sidelines all pilled up on painkillers, and he was like, I feel fucking fine. It's like, so yeah, he didn't miss any games, though. He played against Tampa Bay and against New England to start '85, and Fuller started that Minnesota game.
So your well of optimism, like what percentage is left in it?
Can you rephrase the question? I'm sorry.
Your well of optimism. So, like, for example, my well of optimism is at like 20%.
You mean just for this game or overall?
This season.
I don't know, man. It's determined by what happens next. I mean, if they get blown out like you are suggesting, then it could go way the other way. They could just suddenly tank the way they did last year and think, we can't do it now. Like if they lose the next 2 and go into the bye with 2 losses, then my optimism is going to be completely deflated. But my optimism for this game, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Okay. You just made a great point because I'm going to give this one more shot to win 2 games in a row in this era of coaching. And if we cannot win this game, which means we can't win, we'll go on without having won 2 fucking games in a row for over a season and a half with this coaching staff, then I'm going to, so right now I'm going to reload my well of optimism based on what you just said. And I'm going to put back in another 20% and make it. I'm at 40% right now.
So now you think the Bears lose by what, 10 instead of 17?
No, that means I'm still holding out for hope for a win of this game. So I'm gonna watch this game with pure anticipation of this being a win, because I truly do think we can win it because of what we talked about in this entire show. And it's getting better.
And Justin is actually a talented guy.
Very.
Let's not forget that. It's not like we're hoping that, like Matt Barkley, we hope Matt Barkley wins the game for us Sunday. I mean, Justin fucking Fields has got some talent.
Yes, he does.
So I'm just wanting him to be him. That's all I want. I want him. He should have gotten with Getsy and said, look, I'm coming back. This is the shit I want to run. This is the shit I don't want to run. Let's win together. It helps us both.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what I hope happens.
He's a deep ball hunter, man, and I love deep ball hunters. Retro with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Retro. Sports Talk USA. Dan, if we ever meet, I will give you a bear hug.
I'll take it.
Thank you, Sports Talk. Appreciate you, man. Okay. Let me change my perspective. You've reinvigorated me with that. The show is not over yet, so my official score doesn't count. I'm going to go with 21-20 Bears.
I like it. I like it.
How about that, guys? Huh?
So is it 20 to hold on, you said 21-20 Bears.
21-20 Bears.
It's 20 to 18 late and Santos makes the field goal?
Yes. There you go.
Cairo. Although he missed the kick in the Superdome, though, that really bothered me. I'm like, oh my God, another doink.
Yeah. Wait, the Superdome. Oh yeah, that was
New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
He missed the 40-yard field goal.
At least they matched it with a double doink or with a doink on the opposite
right
pull, so that was nice.
But man, Cairo, those kicks when there's a penalty and then he's got to kick it from 54 after that, and he nailed it, man. So Like he shut me up, man, because he was struggling so much last year. I didn't want to even see him this year, and I don't want to jinx him now. I'm just saying, but he's bounced back. He's not missing extra points. Again. Don't want to jinx him, but
God, don't. No,
because let's not forget that's how we lost to Detroit last year. Was that 31-30 missed extra point?
Why did you say that?
I'm saying that Cairo.
You brought it back into existence.
No, he's overcome it. He's overcome it. It's the number change.
Yeah,
you get away from number 2.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Okay, fair enough. Well, I think that's pretty good. I think I've talked about Bears enough tonight. How are you feeling right now? You want to keep going?
It's up to you, man. I got to work 20 hours tomorrow, so.
Oh my goodness! I should probably get going to get on my this job stuff I'm doing. So yeah, it's but dude, it's so awesome talking with you because you have actually invigorated me a little bit. Like sometimes, like last season, I remember you were really down. I was trying to bring you up when we were doing the show on the bar.
Last season they were terrible.
Oh, I mean, God. Well, the record's the same almost right now. So
I know, but they've got better. They've got better talent on paper this year.
True, but now it's kind of reversed, and you see that where I'm coming from. Whereas, like it was the opposite last year. I was trying to kind of, bring you up, and you're just like, this team fucking sucks, and blah blah blah. And now it's like I'm like, I don't even know what to think. This team fucking sucks, and you're like, no, we can win. We can win this out. And we legitimately can. Like, we can win this out. We can.
We didn't have DJ Moore last year.
True.
I like Foreman and Herbert better than David Montgomery as a tandem.
I do too.
And Sanborn's coming to his own. Maybe you get Edmonds back. Kyler Gordon starting the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Eddie Jackson at all, but at least he's got experience.
They just traded for Sweat. Sweat's getting his feet,
Brisker's back.
Mm-hmm.
Sanborn's
playing better in the middle than Edmonds.
But still, I'd like for them to be our starting 3 and the linebackers back there,
Yeah.
And Ngakoue got a sack. He's finally woken up.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing this year. Last year, they couldn't stop the run at all. Right now, they're the number one. Going into Sunday, I didn't see the statistics after Sunday, but they were the number 1 ranked defense against the rush in the league. Last year they were like 31 or something. So
I know.
Yeah, man. And like DJ Moore is better than anybody we had on offense last year.
100%. Komet. Oh my God, playing out of his mind this year.
Exactly.
And I mean, he's ahead of schedule as far as tight ends go for their careers, their progression through the years. Like he's pretty much a year ahead of schedule. So going into what is it? This is his third year?
4th. He's already gotten his 2nd contract.
Okay, yes. Well, I thought he was drafted the same year as Justin Fields.
I thought Komet was in 20. Maybe I'm wrong then.
No, I think they signed because he only had a 4-year contract because he was drafted in the 2nd round.
Well, I'm going to look it up right now before we go. I thought he was a 2020 draft pick, but let's see.
I could swear he was the same. He was the same draft as.
Nope, I was correct.
You're correct.
Drafted by the Bears in the 2nd round of the 2020 NFL draft.
Okay.
Because we didn't have a 1st round pick thanks to Khalil Mack.
All right. Okay. Okay, so he's right on par with being on schedule for what tight ends should be doing in their careers, and he's proving to do it, I think, better than the others based on where he's at. So, I mean, he's been a security blanket for Bajent at times. He's been a security blanket for Justin Fields at times. I think Justin Fields just needs to keep going to him too. If DJ Moore is not there, look for Komet, man. Make him your Travis Kelce.
I still think we haven't even used Tonkin yet, and he can catch too.
Mm-hmm. Barely. Forgot he was even on the team, right?
Lewis, I mean, he always catches one and steamrolls somebody and goes for 18 on a 3rd and 17.
Yep. Unapologetic truth saying, what about Sanborn? He's balling. Yeah, we kind of talked about that. He's balling his ass out. Gordon's playing well. Brisker is kind of worrisome because he just seems like he's always injured. So it feels like we need a safety this year in the draft. Not that we need to be talking draft right now, but just as a backup, right? Well, we're going to need one to replace Jackson, right? Jackson.
He's gone.
He's got to get out of here, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Dunbar saying Goff, Montgomery played Mac, Bosa, Darwin James, and Goff had 0 sacks, only hit twice. Montgomery 12 touches, 100 yards plus. Yeah. Your offensive line's pretty good, dude. That's my worry.
Yeah, so what? He played Khalil Mack. The most overrated Bear in the history of my lifetime.
I mean, aside from being on the Raiders, he's been overrated since then. Right?
I think so. He had 6 sacks in one game this year, and he still won't get till 10.
Foster saying, Dan, don't show Don's comments anymore. I'm actually proud of Don. He's been very semi-polite tonight. It's very un-Don Burr-like. I feel like somebody's taken over his account.
Has he though?
He hasn't been as bad as he normally has been. Eduardo's saying, looks like everyone is clicking. We just need Justin to start playing better.
I agree.
That's where my worry comes in, coming off of a 4.5-week stint with a hand injury. I just hope he can, Eduardo. Just hope he can. Well, guys, you guys in chat have been awesome tonight. Unapologetic Truth, Mo Bierman, Cliff Victoria, Don Burr, Laz. Let's see. Great to see all you guys tonight, man. Zach Sullivan, Mr. Mayhem, Mo Bierman, Walt, Jay Sanders. You guys are all what makes us go around. Retro, your super chats. Thank you so much for your super chats. Grumpy Bear, Sports Talk. Thank you for your super chats. This is I have kind of a change in jobs coming up here soon, so I'm trying to cut our shows down a little bit so they're not 3 hours plus. So just want to let you all know that we love and appreciate you guys. You are what makes this go around. And there will be no show this Wednesday with Lynn because she's having a knee replacement, but we'll be here this Thursday with our crew. And we're going to have on 313 Sports, Lions fan. He's going to do a preview with us. He has a Lions podcast. That'll be a lot of fun. And
why doesn't Don go to his show?
Yeah, exactly. Listen, these guys are awesome, Don. Come back here on Thursday with 313. Hang out with some Lions, with a Lions podcaster with us, and you'll see what a cool Lions fan is. Maybe you can learn something. Wait, what is he saying? Grumpy Bear. Hey, Dan, what happened to Gandia and North? They didn't do the press conference this year? I don't know. I saw that was going to go live.
Isn't that tomorrow?
Yeah, I think they got the wrong day.
I thought that I tweeted it out earlier that it was tomorrow morning. Let me double check.
It looked like it was live earlier.
It says Tuesday, 9 a.m. Central.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so Lynn's got the knee surgery this week. We'll be back here on Thursday night at 9 p.m. with Bears Country Podcast with Foster and PJ and Walt and myself. And then next week, we're going to be taking off. I think we might do a show on Wednesday, but I'm going to be in New Orleans all next week. So, Dan, we will not be doing a show next week.
Why are you going to New Orleans? The Bears have already played New Orleans.
We're going there for Thanksgiving.
I'm disappointed in you.
I know, right? I was like, damn it, I missed it by like 2 weeks.
Do you ever go to Falcons games?
No.
Aren't you a season ticket holder?
Yeah.
Or you just sell them every week?
I try to. I try to get the concerts that come there that I can get first rights to, that I can at least make my money back on. So that's really what nobody really buys Falcons tickets. I have them built in case the Bears come here or they make the playoffs and play the Bears. That'd be even cooler. That would mean the Bears aren't playing at home, but whatever.
Well, thankfully, Arizona beat them yesterday, which gave us the number 1 pick again.
Yes. Love it. Thank you, Arizona.
And look at that. That was Kyler Murray's first start all year.
Yep.
And he led a comeback.
Okay. Fair enough.
So why can't Justin do it Sunday?
He definitely can.
I guess we could see Bajan. I mean, you never know. Like, no one has said 100% that it's Justin. He's not going to tell us until Wednesday.
True.
But it could still be Bajan. Who knows?
You're correct about that. Hey, why not play both of them?
Now, if it's Bajan, it's really going to hurt my enthusiasm. Because the basis of my whole optimism is, Justin playing for everything, and he knows it. And this is the last shot. So,
yeah, I know. It really does feel like that, huh?
Yeah, and I think he can come out balling. Whereas Bajan, he's like, if it's my 5th straight start or 5th game, and 5th start, I'm just happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
We need Justin on the precipice of leaving, feeling the desperation to win, and just being locked in.
I hope so. I hope you're right, man. I need my well of optimism to be reloaded.
Right, Foster. I think Justin's playing too. That's
Bajan Precious said it was nice to go out with a win. Yeah.
So I think Justin plays Sunday, and hope he stays healthy, and I hope he plays well.
I agree. 21-20 Bears.
Interesting to see, that arm wrestling guy, that his dad, do they just have no interest in the Bears if his son's not playing? Like, I'm not going to that game. Justin's starting. Or is the arm wrestler there the rest of the way now?
He might be in case there's an injury, right?
Maybe the arm wrestler can take on Dan Campbell. They look about the same.
That'd be fun to watch.
I think so too.
Dan Campbell and Tyler Bajan. Is that his dad? Tyler? In an arm wrestling match? That'd be fun to watch.
Go Bears.
All right, guys, let's get out of here. I got an early day tomorrow at work. Dan, great talking with you. We'll see you guys this Thursday at 9 p.m. with Foster and PJ and the guys.
If the Bears win, you're not even going to be here next week.
And so the next week, those guys might do a show. Foster and PJ and Walt might do a show on Wednesday. I might pop in like from Bourbon Street on New Orleans or something. But other than that, like next week, I'm going to be on vacation for Thanksgiving. We're going to a nice New Orleans restaurant.
You don't deserve a Bears win, but I hope we get it anyway. You're probably not even watching the game Sunday.
I am watching the game.
It sounds like you don't care. The season's over to you.
I'm going to be watching the game.
I'm just fucking with you, man.
After it's recorded. It'll be recorded. I'll be watching it later, though.
Go Bears.
Steve Phillips. Later, Bears nerds.
I'll take it.
Unapologetic. See you guys. Great to see you all here tonight. Mayhem, everyone. I've already said all your names. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you in a couple of days with the other crew. And on a 1, 2, 3, let's end this shit. Dan, ready? 1, 2, 3. Bears.
Bears.